It's an honour to be invited here this evening on World Suicide Prevention Day, and I thank the Andy Morgan Foundation and its committee for organising this vigil. This is a special day for all of us gathered around, as well as for those throughout the whole country. We have all been affected in some way as a result of suicide, attempted suicide or self-harm. Everyone knows someone, a family member, a friend, a neighbour or member of our community who has been touched in some way or another. There are approximately 10 people a week committing suicide. That's close to 500 people a year, according to official figures. Unofficially, there may be many more, as there is still a huge stigma, as well as an inability to determine whether a suicide has taken place. There is a tendency to categorise victims as people who suffer from depression, from mental health, alcohol misuse, drugs misuse. But we forget those who have lost their jobs, their homes, or even the emotion of a breakup with a partner, or even bullying, as we have seen in schools. Statistics tell us that approximately 2/3 of victims suffer from some sort of depression. That approximates 80% are male, and that the most vulnerable are men between the age of 16 and 35. We now have one of the highest rates of suicide in the world. We are in the top 10. Last year there was over 12,000 cases of self-harm reported in our A&E emergency departments. There are many more people committing suicide than dying on our roads, and look at the resources that are put into the roads in comparison to suicide. There needs to be greater awareness and prevention, as well as education at an early age, especially in our schools, where recent high-profile cases of bullying have led to young people taking their lives. We also have the recent tragic death of Finglas Daly, whose partner recently highlighted their plight on the Late Late Show, and the effects that the Priory Hall debacle had on her and her family. It is extremely important to outline that there is help out there, and apart from the established groups such as Console, Samaritans, Pieta House, there is local help such as the Finglas Suicide Network. The Andy Morgan Foundation has provided funding for Pieta House, the STEPS programme, and a series of workshops, Suicide or Survive. As the third anniversary of Andy's death approaches, the group have plans to expand their programmes into schools and will use a unique way of getting their message out with the use of Chikira bracelets and the message and the significance of that message that they send out. Most of all, people need to be vigilant and identify any signs that someone is under pressure and needs help. We need more projects such as the Jigsaw Project, which is aimed at young people aged between 12 and 25 for better mental health and well-being. Nobody should feel ashamed or afraid to talk about suicide. We need more openness and honesty. Talk to someone if you feel under pressure or you get thoughts of self-harm. People will understand. Suicide crosses every spectrum in our society, the rich, the poor. No part of our society is immune. We need more resources, more volunteers, and a greater awareness to deal with those affected, but also those left behind. In Finglas, we have seen suicides. We had 3 in one family. Imagine that, 3 suicides in one family. We've also seen clusters and copycat suicides, and people might remember near Dunsogly where some of this happened. This is what we have seen across not just Finglas but across the country. I'm delighted to be here, and I would like to just say about that the organisers here have done a marvellous job. This is a great example of what can be done, and the mobilisation of people. We need to get out there, get the message that there is help out there. Joanne Fedderson, who's husband Andy committed suicide almost 3 years ago, has spearheaded this campaign, and the Andy Morgan Foundation. It is a great credit to her and to all the people who are helping in that campaign. Keep up the good work, keep fighting, and let's get the message out to this government and any government. We need more resources. Thank you.